25% of men in this survey said that they don't think anyone will ever fall in love with them. One in 4 men believe that they will not find love. That is how bad things have become on the dating scene. And that all ties into that thing about, 62% of men think that women expect too much out of relationships, and half of women agree with that point as well. So maybe we need to go back to the drawing board here. 68% of men said that they feel afraid to speak their mind. They think it will damage their reputation if they speak their mind. So men are in a position where they basically bottle everything up. They can't actually say what they believe because they think that society has moved far too far to the left, presumably, and that they can't say what are just honestly held, probably pretty normal beliefs. And again, particularly if you're young, if you're a young man, even if you're just sort of veering a little bit to the right, all the data shows that young women have gone significantly to the left. So I don't think that helps on the dating scene either. 57% said that, this is men, said that they felt pressure to look a certain way to be successful at dating. And of course, we've talked for a long time about body image for women. And this very clearly shows that men also have significant body image issues. More than half of all men in this survey said that they had a body image issue when it comes to dating. And interestingly, when men were asked, to rank the things that they think makes them a man, both men and women put at the top of their lists being a good friend, which is great, but the third one was providing for a family, which I think shows that young men in particular even still have this innate thing that they want to be providers and they want to have a family to look after. And the survey also showed that men are becoming more sensitive. They want to be more present fathers, and which is all great. But when you look at those dating numbers and you go, so men want to have families and they want to be good dads, but they live in a world now where they don't really know what the world expects of them as a man. They live in a world now where women are less likely to pursue relationships, and you have a whole bunch of men as a result who feel like they're in, pardon the pun, no man's land.
I think that's exactly right. And I think when you look at this data and the rates of singleness as well, so men in the prime of their life, 25 to 34, 50% of them are living alone. That is just so sad. They're living without a partner or a spouse. That should be the prime of your life when you're getting married, you're having children, you are really building your life and setting yourself up for a life of meaning and fulfillment. But that is just not happening. And part of me thinks I have a lot of young girlfriends going through the dating scene, and I really think men and women nowadays, it's almost like they're on different planets. Like the whole language, the political views you talked about, they're completely polarised. The expectations of behaviour are so unclear. And there are a lot of double standards that are being applied to men. A woman would be deeply offended if a man said, oh, I'm not going to date you because you're fat. But then she'll turn around and say, oh, but my boyfriend has to be over 6 foot tall. Or they'll say, no, I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. But if you're not earning over $200,000 a year or whatever it is enough for me to stay home, then I don't want you. And so there are these double standards, or it's like I'm independent, I don't need anyone, but you've still got to pay for everything. And so I think that leaves a lot of men going, how do I even navigate this? How do I get through this? And it's really, really sad. But then the other factor is I think because so many young men feel so dejected, they're then turning to unhealthy behaviours. So the survey also says that 25% of young men go out and seek pornography that demonstrates violence towards women and strangulation. I mean, that's horrendous. 1 in 4 young men is watching that kind of abuse towards women for sexual gratification. And this is the problem. When you have disordered, unhealthy relationships between men and women, both genders will go and pursue unhealthy behaviour. So it's very sad. And one of the main things we need to do is figure out why is this happening and really reconcile young men and young women together again, because they are at war right now and it's not going well for anyone.
Well, I think a lot of it is men are forgotten. I mean, look at the rates of suicide, and it has always been thus that men are far more likely to commit suicide. But that's not a point that's fashionable to talk about. Look at education results now. I mean, women go to university far more than men do, and I understand that men are probably more predisposed to doing trades and things like this. But look at school results. Boys are falling behind and girls are picking up. No one seems to want to talk about that. And I think dating apps have totally changed the scene as well, and I think have given immense sexual power to women. Because, of course, you know, it's sort of naturally always been the way that men are randy and women are sort of the gatekeepers of the men who get to do what they want to do. But now women have a smorgasbord of these men and all of them want to sleep with them. And so they can sort it down to the most attractive bloke available.
It's literally just
available,
purely
right?
based on appearance before you've even had a conversation.
Whereas once upon a time, if you wanted to meet someone, you had to go to the pub or whatever and actually strike up a conversation. You don't have to do any of that anymore. So it's very easy to just sort of disappear into the ether.
And also, Caleb, we spoke about this on the Sunday Showdown about how it's now a viral trend that boyfriends are embarrassing. So I think that that's also playing into it as well. I mean, even Mum Dani chimed in on that, saying that he would make sure that there were no cringe boyfriends. So I think all of that also is playing into the issue that we're seeing happening with men, that it's almost seen as an embarrassing element into your life if you have a man.